Relationships are sometimes so dear to us that we give up certain aspects of our lives just to make it work. Today on Gzone, we are asking, what would you not give up for a relationship? My name is Samwaki Tete. You can call me the sexy, sassy sang, the lady with the finest legs in the game. We are coming to you from Vienna City in the heart of the capital, Accra. My beautiful, intelligent, eloquent, and very confident ladies will join me shortly, but I would like to say a very big thank you to my sponsors, Dask Capital Limited. We see a millionaire in you. Dask has all the solutions to your financial needs. Also to Nicey Omega-3 Sunflower Oil. This for all your cooking oil needs. So be it homes, restaurants, schools, whatever your oil needs are, just go to the market and get Nicey Omega-3 Sunflower Oil. It's very healthy. Also to Cool Water. That's part of Group Ideal Bottling Company Limited. Cool Water says water is the heart of life. Drink more. We'll be back shortly after the break. Don't go away. Thanks for staying with us. It is Gzone on TV Africa. You can join us on the social media handles on your screen. I have my beautiful ladies here. Welcome, ladies.
Hi. Thank you.
I take a high five before I even introduce you to my viewers. Now, I would let you introduce yourself. I know Mulika, but she'll tell you what she's doing. She has a lot going on in her life. So, Mulika.
For now, I'll just talk about one. My name is Tina Mulika, and I'm an entrepreneur. I produce shea butter and then honey. The honey is organic, actually, so I wouldn't say I produce them. It's actually from the farm, but I do the bottling and everything myself.
But this is your season then, because we are still feeling the hammer time, so our skin is so dry.
No, but you've not bought yours yet.
But you have to come and give it to me for free.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be for free. That's why you're my friend.
I'll dash you one,
we'll
so you
get
pay
into
one.
that after the show. I'll not let you go without taking it from you. And then Linda, ever so cute.
Ever so cute.
How do you do that?
I'm learning from the best.
Hey, Linda,
I'm
trying to hit the gym. And you are looking all that and more. Tell us about yourself.
Like you said, my name is Linda. I'm a filmmaker, a writer as well. So, and I'm a freelancer. So basically, that's just me.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that as you come on the show, often viewers will get to know you more. Sure. But let's go straight to our discussion for today. So let me start with you, Mulika. What will you not give up for a relationship?
I believe, relationship involves three people. I'll explain that. You as an individual, let's say the woman, the man, and the two of you together as a team. Before you enter into a relationship, you have your personal aspirations or goals. The man has his. The two of you, what you hope to achieve together. So personally, I'll not give up my ambition and my hobbies for any relationship. Even marriage, we'll try and see, but I'm not going to give up. Because I have to also stand as an individual. I need to be independent. I don't always have to, wait for you to decide on what to do. If it's like that, then you don't respect me as a woman. Because once you are not in the relationship, let's say the family or relationship, it means I can't take decisions for our kids. But if you trust that I can blend, as in be a woman that I am in the relationship, you be the man, together, what do we hope to achieve?
Have you always thought this way, or it's because of maybe your experiences, things you've been through, and then where you are now? That's why you've learned that, no, I'm not going to give up my hobbies and my ambition for a relationship.
Well, I've been through before, actually, but I didn't give up. I remember, was it 4 or 5 years ago? No, a long time ago, like 6 years ago. I was in one relationship and he was like, he wanted me to be in a corporate environment. And if you really know me, the bank and all that, but if you really know me, I'm not that kind of person. I can't sit at one place for 8 hours. I can't do it, I'm sorry. So I see myself, being like, to be Tina, to be me.
Being active, on the move every time.
I need to be an entrepreneur because it gives me the liberty to do what I want to do at my own pace.
It gives you life.
Exactly.
Sure. So, do you agree with her, Linda?
Of course, I do. You've combined lots of points in one, and so see, it's your identity. What you said, it's your identity, and no one should have to take that away from you. If you don't have, then of course someone is going to give you an identity. But then what happens when you walk away from this person? Are you sticking to what the person created?
But what
for
if
you?
the person comes with all that you want and more?
Which is what
he's got the looks, he's got everything, of course, the money, you are in love, and then the person says, oh, Monica, but I don't want you to do this, or Linda, I don't want you to be like this, I don't want you to be going around meeting people, I want you to be there in the
I won't
bank.
call that love.
Oh, in
call that
bank, the me feel.
Uncle, yeah.
No, see, but then the question comes, this question comes into mind. Why do you want to be in a relationship? Why are you in a relationship? Like you said, a man comes along and he has everything. What is everything to you might not be everything for me. Okay. So first define what everything is. What everything is for you. It might not be money for me because I may be a working woman. So I'm not looking for money. I'm not looking for a man to just control me, be bossy over something.
Is that being controlling?
Yeah, in a way, to some extent. Like, sit here, do this.
Maybe he
it's
wants
like
the best for you.
And is that the best?
He wants
the best.
He thinks that to be with you, to be with you, he thinks that you being in that environment will be better for the two of you.
He's just being selfish. So do you know why? Probably, let me give you an example. I think the reason why my guy at that time wanted that is because at that time I was doing marketing, part-time marketing. And then, you know, marketing, you go out a lot. So he's like, oh, be the bank. And his reason, I think, was so that I'll be stationed at one place.
So people will not see you?
Exactly. So he's being selfish. At that point, he was trying to be selfish and controlling. And I don't know why I have my way of life different. Definitely, there are certain things that will alter. Naturally, it will fall in place. Naturally, things will go, like I will sacrifice certain things. But not when it's like a deliberate plan. Stop this. No, you're not going out with your friends. No, that one, no way.
Linda. But we are just saying something. What if he wants the best for you? Who is the best person to determine what's the best for you?
I agree.
Exactly. So what if you say, okay, I think this is the best for you, and also say, okay, I think that is the best for you.
But Linda, there's this account added that says they are ultra quinine who said they need in the chia, right? And so maybe you are going and you think that you are doing so well, but he thinks, oh, my sweetheart, if you go this way, it will be better for you.
That's different. It's different. What you see, there's
when it becomes imposing.
When it becomes imposing, there's a difference when you are trying to reason with a person to say that, look, let's analyze the situation. You've been doing this work for such a long time, and it's not working for you. We've invested so much. Why don't we try something else? Why don't we do this? That is discussion. That is talking. That is respecting that you have an opinion, respecting that you have a voice and you want to be heard. Rather than saying, I think that is not working, you should stop it, and then you stop it. I mean, a friend of mine once said, the time you realize you're ready for a relationship is when you are independent. You've been living, well, since infancy, you live with your parents for how many years? 20, 30 years.
Exactly.
And they care for you. You are dependent on them. What determines that you're an adult ready for a relationship? It's not age, but it's the fact that you are ready to move out of that dependency, to be independent, because people need to be co-independent to be in a relationship. Right? So you cannot come into a relationship expecting the other partner to continue being your parent.
Exactly.
There must be something different from your upbringing, something different from when you move from your adolescence or from your mother or your dad's care. Once you migrate from that section to another stage with another person, it means that, okay, now you are a full adult who is able to discern, who is able to who is assertive, and who is able to say that, okay, this is what that's being assertive, this is what I want, that's not what I want. I mean, you are able to distinguish your personality from what someone should be able to impose on you. You have a voice of your own. That is the difference. So if you're not able to make decisions for yourself, let me say this. Independence has two faces, the personal independence and the financial independence. So when you are able to say that, okay, I want to go into this kind of job, or I want to do this, I want to do that, you should know that once the other partner is not with you, you are able to still stand on your feet. Yeah.
Your
life is not dependent on the other person you're dating, whether it's in a normal
relationship. Are we not talking this way because we feel we are empowered, we know our rights, know that I know our rights, I know my rights, I know my rights kind of girls. There are people out there who are not like us. They are not so much exposed. I mean, especially we are in the media, so we see a lot of things, we meet people. There are others, the guy comes and says, oh, I want to be with you, but then I don't like the career path that you are going. Or I don't like the kind of friends that you are working with. For such people, what will you have to tell them? Should they agree to that because they are heads over heels in love? And especially when the guys come with marriage. When the guys come with marriage, they want to marry you. You know how our society sees marriage. And so, Obewareo, the guy wants to marry you. Now he says that, but this one I don't like. For example, I have a sibling whose guy says, or told her at that time that I want to be with you, but I want to marry a teacher. So, why? Because they will be on vacation. And so at the time when they're on vacation, you'll be home. And so you have time for my kids. She didn't end up marrying the guy anyway. But then...
Is she a teacher now?
In fact, she is, actually. Surprisingly, she is.
But is that what she really wanted to do?
No, but I didn't think she became a teacher.
At the time, she said no, she didn't. But later, she became a teacher. So, what was the point? If she had ended up with a guy, she would have been a teacher anyway.
Well, you can't be sure that the fact that her sister is a teacher now should mean that in 5 years' time, she would still be a teacher. She could be a teacher now, but it could change. And she needs that freedom to change her mind at any point.
Yeah.
It's different from when you have started a relationship on this, based on this fact that I want a teacher, and so you cannot ever change your profession.
Okay, so we are saying that when it comes to career, then it's a no-go area.
No-go area.
Because it deals with passion.
Exactly.
Now, what about family? Some people want to take you away from your family, and then they have you all to themselves.
And that's a dangerous thing to do.
And sometimes even you might have children. You know, those who come with, maybe you have one child or something, say, oh, no, I don't want your baby to be with us. So let the baby go to your grandmother or your mother somewhere so that we have our independence. I want you single. So they don't deal with the love me, love my dog kind of thing.
That's as if you have a child before.
Yes.
And I believe one thing, that if you love somebody that much, you see the family as your family. Whether the person has 10 kids, I know people with 5 kids and they are still happily married to a different man, not the father of their kids. So when you meet the person didn't hide that kind of that side. I have 5 kids. Okay, so what do we do together? Can you go and live with the family, or let's bring them into our house and live together as one? And then you decide on that. But what I believe is, when they start separating you from your family, it means, number one, they're trying to take total control.
Yeah.
As in, it's just me and you. And sometimes when it happens like that, when you are broken emotionally, when something happens, who do you now turn to? They will become your everything at some point. Your friend, and you even feel like checking up on your family once in a while, because that love, will be withdrawing. And I wouldn't say you should also be attached to your family, no. But you have to balance it. Sometimes too, some guys would, some ladies would marry and then be taking advice from their mother. Oh, something happens in the house, they'll call their mother. And then whatever the mom tells them is what they will do in their
So in
home.
that case, if they say that don't get close to your family.
Listen, we live in a society where marriage, especially for women, takes away our freedom. Takes away, well, gradually that's changing. But
in
the
that
past,
because you are not married?
Oh, no, of course not. But listen, in the past, women, the essence of a woman was to be groomed for marriage. So once you are ripe enough for marriage, the first thing parents think about is, my daughter is... So, you remember when you now begin to... You hit the puberty stage. Everyone, it's news. This girl is now a woman. She's ripe for marriage. And so they start looking around for a husband for him, and all of the families connive or talk together, discuss, and by the time you realize you're in your husband's home, and your main work is to keep your home, raise your children. Basically, that's it. That was when education for women was not a priority. But now, with things changing, women are getting more education. But then we have not completely gotten away from that kind of mentality that women are made for marriage. And so, even when you and I are a little bit educated, our parents still are still living in that kind of setting. And so when you hit a certain stage, they expect that by all means you should marry, and it doesn't matter who comes along. It doesn't matter if the person is trying to infringe on your rights. It doesn't matter if the person is abusing you. It doesn't. All is that they need to save face in society, because men so meba aware. My daughter, at least I was able to, the thing is that people should see that my daughter is good enough for marriage. I have groomed her well. And so that's how come some graceful man has been able to identify her and marry her. And so we enter into the relationships, and then men still feel that they have this kind of right to dominate. To dominate over women and say that I don't want you to work, I don't want, and you can go complaining to your mom or your whoever, your family member. They're saying that that he's the head of the family. That is how we all are. Do you think I got it this way? I mean, you will be fine. Will you die?
You want him to compromise.
Should your man hate you? You are not the first woman to be abused. Your husband has five children in town. You are not the first woman to have the husband cheat on. Whatever your husband does to you, you have to swallow it. That is the unfortunate thing about our society. But thankfully, we are gradually getting out of it. Unfortunately, some men still are a little backward. They feel that women
I know
who
the
are
men watching
educated,
us right now be like,
they feel threatened. Yes, they feel threatened. They feel threatened by educated women. They feel that we know, yes, of course, I know my rights. When I say this, you say that. We shouldn't have a voice. We should always, like when you're going to marry, your mother and your in-law say, sorry. You are basically going to serve. You are a servant in your home. And that is what should change. That's what men, those who are still living in the 1600s, you should know that doesn't work anymore.
If you respect your woman and you see her as your better half, you will not, and you know that person is ready emotionally, psychologically, financially, physically ready for marriage. If that is how you saw her and married her, and you still have that respect for her, you are not going to tell her, do this, do that. You're not going to dictate for her.
Because we know that it takes a very long time to bounce back into the scene or onto the scene when sometimes you leave your career. For instance, those of us in the media, when you go off for a while, people don't see you again. You are lost. Coming back, they are asking,
it's not easy.
You know, you've gone to have kids. Oh, you can't do the regular schedule. I have friends who've been in the media, they've left, and coming back is a problem. And so then, I think that we are on point that we say that career and then family. But then what of friends? Because sometimes friends are poisonous.
I think the reason why some people are so glued to their friends is because when they were single, they didn't have anybody to talk to. But now they are married. So some friends, and definitely you know the good ones and the bad ones. You will know. As a woman or as a lady, you know that this friend is not good for me, but you were just trying to manage at the time that you were single, because sometimes you are lonely, you want to hang out. So you still call that person, but you have your own doubts, but you still hang out with that person. But when you are married and then you yourself sit down and realize, because your husband would know certain parts of your friends, but you know them like inside out. So sometimes, and the funny thing is, sometimes the person that he would think is bad for you is actually your good friend. That's the person who is actually making your relationship work. The friends that he's trying to even join together is like the enemy from within.
I think that's...
so you can't choose your friends for your partner.
Of course, you can't choose your friends. I agree with you on that as well. What women should always keep or have is one, extra money for grey days. You don't know when you will need to walk out of your marriage. I'm not saying marrying or going into a relationship thinking that you're going to walk out.
But you should
know.
It happens.
You should know.
Be on
50-50.
Yes.
all the time.
Anything can happen.
You should. So that, which means you need economic independence. And then two, you need support system. If your partner somehow leaves, say he dies or walks away or whatever, you need a support system. And that comes in the form of friends or family. So now people, and like I was saying, marriage in our society is like it's like World Cup. You get married and your partner is able to tell you, leave that friend, leave that friend. But then you've forgotten. You feel, because you do not have a voice in that kind of relationship, you feel to tell this person that that person has been my support system over the years. When I was sick, that person stayed by me.
Exactly.
When I was in school, that person paid my school fees.
Exactly.
And when I cry, that person's shoulder is always there for me to cry on. And because I have gotten someone that I need to stick with now, doesn't mean that I have forgotten my past. This is something that you should be able to, if you have a voice, and that makes it another reason why you need to know that you have an opinion, you have a voice, you have a right to making your own decisions.
On that
Let me add up this one. Well, personally, if I'm a guy and then my wife or girlfriend chooses friends over me all the time, I'm going to have a problem with that.
Big problem.
Because, fine, before you met me, before we got married, you had them. They've been your support system, as my sister is saying. But you should be able to balance friends and then having time for me as your husband or as your partner. You can't channel because they have been there for you. You can't keep living in the past. Fine, the past will come, and then it's necessary to always remember where you are coming from. Okay, so they have been there for me, but it doesn't also mean you should leave.
That is true.
Linda, I'll let you come and hold your thoughts. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, she'll fire. Thanks for staying with us. It's still Gzone on TV Africa. You can send your comments on the social media handles right on your television sets. Now, I would like to say a very big thank you to Nice Omega-3 Sunflower Oil for supporting us, and also to Cool Water. Water is life. Keep drinking, keep refreshing. I have some social media messages I'd like to read to you. This one says, I'm Abba from Takrade. If a man gives me the condition to leave my kids with my parents because he wants me single, then he never wanted me in the first place, because he met me double, married me double, and must live with me as a double person. So Abba is agreeing with us on that one. Aaron from Tantra Hill, and he says, I think this show is very educative, because marriage shouldn't stop or prevent both couples from chasing their dreams and ambitions. If a man or a woman comes into a marriage with kids, I don't see anything wrong with it. What about those who adopt from orphanage homes and train them together with their biological kids? Nipa is sweet. Wow. Linda, Nipa is sweet.
Nipa is sweet.
Yeah, you were about to say something before I went on that quick break.
Listen, of course, when you are spending too much time with friends and family other than your partner, that is a cause for alarm. And I'm not saying that is right, but I think that the point here is that should your partner be able to determine for you who you should hang out with, which of your friends you should live, and I think that's the main problem.
But Linda, aren't we saying this because maybe you know who you are, and so you think that everybody is like you. There are people need to tell them that this one is not good for you. Your lady is always out with this friend, you know, your husband has been seeing her at certain places and knows that this woman, the lifestyle, and
that's a different thing.
But so then what do you do?
So you think that the partner should be able to say,
or you think that no matter the circumstances, the partner should never ever, because it's your life?
No, you can advise. You can, even when training a child. Now we are in an age where we are saying that, look, don't be beating kids just to reinforce certain attitudes in them. You leave them to make mistakes. If they fall, they get back up. When children fall these days, say, no, leave them, they will get up. Because then they will learn that when you fall, when you do this, you can fall, and so the next time you won't do it anymore. So sometimes you should leave us. Sometimes you should leave them once you've advised, once you have said enough. You leave the person. But
that's somebody you are with.
Sometimes talking alone is not enough. Find results or solutions to the problem. If your wife is always hanging out with a particular person, find out what are her reasons. Okay, I realize because I go to work most of the weekends, I'm working outside. Where we live, so maybe she gets bored, or there's nobody at home, or family don't visit, so she ends up staying alone. So that's the reason why she moves out. So if you know the problem, that this is the reason why probably she's doing that, then you can now find or get a solution to that problem. So what do you do with this? In this condition or situation, what I would do if I'm a man is to make sure, not the time, well, you need to work. So if she's that kind of person that likes music and all that, I'll make sure We have the best of sound system at home. Not that we're not going to, but like with compounded with movies. If she's a movie kind of person, you watch movie and you even forget to go out. Sometimes you can get so engrossed like with a hobby that you even forget about everybody. It's not like somebody is forcing you to go out or stay home, but you just spend the entire day or weekend in the house. And if you are in town and you're not just making time for her, take her out Fridays. You can go for live band together so that she won't be bored. You leave work, you always with your friends, drinking, roaming town, looking for other girls, probably, and you leave her home.
We see them all the time in town, alone, and the women are always stuck in the house.
So when I get bored and my friend calls me, hey, anything happening this Friday? Oh, let's go to one of our friends who probably manages this pub. Oh, fine. We just dress up and we go.
I think we're missing the point. We are not talking about why people stay just because you have support systems, you stay out too long. The issue is not about staying out too long or chatting too long with friends. The fact that you still have people in your life. Sangmoki, I have known you for how many years? Almost 15 years, maybe. But how many times? Once we will hook up, you are still my friend, but I don't see you on a day-to-day basis. No. I haven't seen you in almost 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Right? But you are still part of me. That is what I'm saying. That a man shouldn't say that, look at sexy, sassy sang. And says that because...
The reason why I said that is because you were talking about advising. And I'm like, sometimes advising or talking alone is not enough.
Action.
You need action. Find solution to that problem.
I'm saying that,
But Linda, that's when you and I are not close. When the person is by me, and so I'm driving from home.
I have lost friends who are so close to me like sisters because their boyfriends then, or husbands now, felt that I am too strong a character. I'm not someone who is, I seem to be a bit too worldly, but you'd be surprised that I don't drink alcohol, I don't club, I don't do lots of things.
But there are people who always be in your home.
But drinking alcohol or clubbing doesn't make you a bad girl.
No, but that is socially, in a social setting, that's what is defined.
There are people who will always come to your home. Even when your husband is there. I know some friends, their husbands are there. They have friends who come to their homes every single day. They pick up their children from school, they are in their homes.
That is a bad
with them. They are chatting, they are cooking. Their husbands want independence, but they can't get it because their friends are always there. And the men want to be polite. So they can't tell them that, go. But all the time when they leave, they are quarreling with their wives because, hey, but how would you also tell your friend not to come? And sometimes you also enjoy their company. No. So in that case, then it's becoming
you don't love your husband
because
you can't enjoy your friend's company more than your own husband. You agreed that yes, this is the man I'm going to live with, for better, for worse. He's supposed to be your companion, your friend, your love, your baby, your everything. You still have friends, fine. But you can't say, oh, like you said, because
ironic?
you enjoy your friend's company.
Ironic that you are saying he's your love, you're this, you're that, and then he wants you to do certain things for him. You don't want to do certain things.
I'm saying this in reference to what you just said.
That particular
like
person
some
coming
people,
in all
some
the
people,
time.
like the friends are always in the house, and the husband goes like, "Why is your friend always in the house?" And you said, probably you enjoy your friend's company. How can you enjoy your friend's company? Are you married? You can go and marry your friends.
And because you enjoy.
How can you? No. You should definitely you make time and be with them. But when you are home, your home is sacred. It's your home.
So I'm sure that we all have certain friends who got married and you call them, oh, it's as if Cecia Mawario. Many will need Sabio.
Forget about those.
And then you know, like, hey, Cecia dear Menkwa. I have certain friends, I know if they are watching me, they know I'm talking about them. They'll tell you, oh, I'm fine, let's go here. Oh, no. Oh, my husband doesn't like this. My husband doesn't like that.
Do they actually say my husband doesn't like this?
When the problem starts coming, or when the problem started arising, they started calling me. So I sensed that, no, there's something wrong. Only for us to hang out, and then they couldn't help it, but they were saying, oh, this happened, and my husband did this, and I regret marrying him. Now the problems are arising. You are calling me and telling me, what do you want me to say?
Let me tell you something my mom will say, that when somebody comes with a relationship problem, ask the person just this question. When it was all rosy, did you even see? Were you telling me? Now that I have fun, what do you want me to say? I should advise you so that
leave.
When you make up, you say, I was giving you all the bad advice. No, don't do this to your husband. No, I don't have anything to say about that.
I don't know how to drum this point in. I'm saying that, listen, not everything you do within a relationship will be right. And that includes having to concentrate too much on your friends. That would be wrong, and it would necessitate a discussion between you and your partner about it. It is not subject to just friends friends alone. It could be cooking, it could be cleaning, it could be your work, it could be anything. If everything is done in excess to the extreme or in a way that is not acceptable, of course you need to discuss it, and that includes friends and family. So I do not want us, like we're saying, that is my point, that I do not
so
want us to excessive and extreme.
Exactly.
That's it.
So then I want to
the
find out.
point really is saying that your partner does not have the right to choose your friends for you.
So you should be independent. You should still remain being you.
So it's not a matter of spending too much time with your friends or your family. It's not a matter of spending too much time.
Is there anything that you have ever given up for in a relationship that you regretted later that you did?
I don't remember. I don't remember. It was about the career thing and I didn't do it. So I didn't do it.
Same. I also didn't give up my career for that. That path, I will never change it later.
As you asked the question, I started searching my mind. But then knowing the kind of person I am, I just cannot simply let my being, my identity, myself go.
Too empowered.
Yes. To adopt your standard of living, it's not possible.
No.
It's not possible. I remember once there's this friend, a medical. He was a medical student then, and he liked me. He was just a friend, and he was a warm person. And we went. I agreed to go out with him once, not like on a date. We went out once, and then he said, I think that's when he actually proposed and said, I have dreams of having my own ministry someday, and I'm not too comfortable with your kind of work, your filmmaking and all of it. It's
like
it's
I'm
so
rolling my eyes right now.
It's sort of too much in the world. So I think if you want to get married, you should drop it. And there's a person who was just now proposing to me. I didn't even feel the same about him. So imagine that. I laughed and I said, okay, I hear you. But I walked out and I mean...
You're thinking, what
yeah, you even watching. Some people will wait and marry you before they tell you what to do.
No, but before you get married, that's
and
something
that
is something that we ignore. We need to discuss about things.
You know, there was this video going around on social media and the man was saying, ask questions, ask every little thing, ask. Because if you don't know where the person is going and you don't know where you are going, then you need to ask questions so that you know that you are all on the same side.
You know why people say that you get married and you change, especially guys, when they're speaking among themselves. Because
you don't ask.
Like I said, we have overhyped marriage in our society so much that we will do anything for any man to marry. We don't even choose who we want to marry. We are waiting for someone to choose us to marry. So whoever we are marrying is someone who is ready to get married to us. We don't even care if the person shares the same ideologies. We don't even care about the attitudes of this person. And so we are the humble, very quiet, churchy girl. And then we get into the marriage and we realize that now I'm in the marriage. No, you don't have the right to do these things. Now you have sort of deceived your partner. Exactly. Because he thought you were the person, you were this kind of person. But because you wanted that marriage, you kept mute. You didn't tell the person, I am not.
But you wanted it.
You want the marriage, right? You want the ring on your finger.
Yes, you wanted it. So then, but the guy is Mulika. So maybe if the guy knows that, oh, I'm so confident, and I'm so this, and I'm so that, so they are afraid. I mean, our parents tell us all the time, Samoki, don't be too strong. I have friends who drive, and their parents will be like, "Yeah, Najaka, Nisi, Honanante kakra."
They always say that.
You are going back and all. So Nante kakra. So then we also let me walk a bit, let me tone down a bit, and then when I get you, I let you know that this is me. Me they say you know, all loud, confident, eloquent, assertive, and all that.
What they forget is husbands are not found on the streets. Some are lucky when they are working, they just meet their partners. Sometimes, like somebody was telling me some time ago that every relationship she finds herself in is relationship of drunkards. As in, the boyfriend is always a drunkard, always drinking. I'm like, then you have to define where you always hang out, because if you're always hanging out at a local bar, definitely they are taking a local, no, very local bar. Definitely they are taking their peteshes, bitters. So after taking it, and then you end up dating such a person, don't expect that person to change. So if you hang out at certain places, it defines, sometimes it helps you identify or locate a certain kind of husband.
I'll stay with you on this. Yeah. What would you want your man to give up for you?
I wouldn't just go like give up on it. Before we even start dating, definitely I'll know one or two things that I like about him, certain things I dislike, but how do I even solve it? All I want my man all I want my man to do for me is to respect me forever. That is all I want. I wouldn't say stop doing this, stop doing. You have a life, like I said. I also have mine. Live your life, I'll live mine. We'll see how we can live together. But just respect me.
So
before
Linda,
you do anything,
he closes
let's
closes at 5. He stays out till 7 with his friends. He wants to date you. You don't like him to be hanging out all the time with his friends. Is that not where, or such instances where we have to compromise? Where does compromise
It's
come
meeting me halfway.
Before I come, I answer the compromise thing. Like you asked Muli, sorry. What would I ask my partner to compromise on? Would be his pride. That would be it. The pride. That pride is the only thing that stops you from compromise. Pride, because you have established yourself already. This is me.
If they respect you, they'll put their pride aside. That's what I believe.
Of course, it goes hand in hand. You're putting your pride aside. If they love you, they'll respect you. If they respect you, they
can love you and not respect you. My reason is, as for saying I love you, maybe they're in love with your body, they're in love with your personality, they're in love, and that makes define that kind of love. But do I care? Once you are done with, but if you respect your woman, love comes in. It's like a bracket. It's a subset. It's inside. The love will be there. You will drop your pride, your ego, because I respect my woman. I wouldn't control or be yelling or be deep, always telling do this, do that. I respect you, honey. Can we talk about this? Let's see if we can get into an agreement.
Right.
Then we act. We are not imposing. Sit here, if you respect.
A last one from Linda before I take a quick break.
Talking about respect, I should mention that, look, women need to come to the realization that respect doesn't just come in vacuum.
Exactly.
Sometimes we need to help people respect us. You don't just live your life anyhow and expect people to respect you, right? You respect others and they respect you.
As the saying goes, the way you market yourself is the way they buy you.
Yeah.
If
you go about disrespecting your own self, how can he respect you?
Of course. If your mouth does not speak of respect, if your body, your presence does not speak of respect,
very important.
Then can you come crying that he doesn't respect me? What do you possess?
Ask yourself questions.
Yeah. What do you possess that would want anyone to respect you?
Respect yourself. Linda, I'll take a long message here and then we go for a quick break. I'm Esther from Kwabenya. Thanks to TV Africa for bringing this show on our screens. You have really rebranded. I think what I will not give up for marriage or for a man is my job. Because, like, seriously, men of today are so selfish to the point that they would want to keep you at one place. Now I'm laughing. Keep you at one place with a mind that they give you what they want, especially these, I don't want to say that. Don't come after me, please. These Nigerian guys. As a woman, I think you should be able to live up to your dreams with or without marriage. Sometime soon, they will find you to be a burden on their finances. We'll comment on this right after the break. Don't go away. Thanks for staying with us. It's still Gzone with me, the sexy Sassy Sang, the lady with the finest legs in the game. If you doubt me, go to my Instagram page at Sexy Sassy Sang and find out if indeed I have the finest legs in the game. Thank you to Vienna City for allowing us their space to record, and also to Nicey Omega-3 sunflower oil, and to Cool Water. Always make sure you get cool water. So nice. You see that my ladies are enjoying themselves here. I'll take a comment or two and then I get your reaction, then we can wrap up on this one. So marriage should be complementary and should not deduct. That is from Mawena in Accra. You agree?
I agree perfectly.
I'll take the second comment. It says, the two of you must be friends in the first place, and good friends never change you totally. You rather pick from them.
Sure.
So that is what we should be aiming at. We've discussed what you want your man to give up for you. Linda, what would you want your man to give up for you?
Like I said, pride.
Pride. And then you mentioned?
Never disrespect me.
So we have pride and disrespect. Yeah. Well, I don't like you to have too many friends. So I want you to cut down on your friends, because bad company brings so many.
Cutting down friends, I think it's very, very necessary. But like living without friends, is a disaster. Everybody needs a friend. You find your husband as a friend, but you still need a friend outside your husband.
So I was reading around the topic, and then I found these. I would like you to comment on maybe one or two. I found some 10 key things. Your decision-making power should never be compromised. You should never give up your decision.
Have a mind of your own.
Making
all
power.
The time.
Says your identity. Never ever change your identity. You agree to that?
Of course.
Yeah, sure.
Says your self-respect. You shouldn't change your self-respect. Also, existing relationships. We've mentioned that.
Yes.
Your friends, your family, they are very important. Your dreams and goals. Molika, you were very hard on that one. Your dreams and goals. Your happiness. Anything that makes you happy. But sometimes
we all have hobbies.
It's not about hobbies. We are talking about relationships, living with someone. If the person, you shouldn't go into a relationship because you are afraid to be lonely. And so no matter what you are feeling, the negative effects of the relationship, you still want to be in it because you don't want to be the odd one out of your friends. You still remain in that unhappy relationship. That's
the reason why I mentioned hobbies is because Sassy, mentioned one or two: identity, ambition, and all those things. And I believe hobbies too. Before probably I got into that relationship or marriage. Maybe I'm a fan of reading books.
Makes you happy.
It makes me happy.
But that is not. Listen, enjoying your hobbies.
When I'm with you, you can't say I should cut down my hobbies or I should leave.
But what if there are negative things that you are into, like smoking, like
then
excessive drinking?
But
that one you can work on it.
What I'm saying is that your hobbies don't determine if you're happy in a relationship. You may have your hobbies all right.
No, we're talking about what not to give up when I mentioned. So
happiness.
It's like
She says that makes her happy.
Because your hobbies, you don't have to give up your hobbies.
Because it makes you happy to some extent.
Okay, but I'm saying that your
partner
should be able to make you happy. I mean, should be able to make you laugh.
But if you love to sing and your partner, you can't always be
He's not a
there.
comedian. I can't call him every day. Come and
No, you're not getting me. You should, like you were saying at first.
I'm saying
why
don't
should
give
you
up
enjoy?
on your
Why should you enjoy your friend's company more than your husband?
But being friends doesn't.
So I'm saying in a relationship you can't have a hobby.
No, I'm not saying you can't have a hobby. I'm saying that we are talking about happiness within a relationship. It's so your personal time that makes you happy is not really a factor here. We are talking about what makes you happy in a relationship.
Okay,
that
so
your boyfriend or your husband should be able to.
Do you know that with your hobby you can introduce your friend, your partner or husband if it's an interesting one. Let's say we're giving ourselves a week to read a book, and then we just stay together, discuss the book, the characters, and then laugh over it. So it makes you happy.
So then happiness comes in different forms. So then the next point, sorry to catch you, but I have to move on. Your right to be you. We've mentioned your right to decide for yourself.
Sure.
Freedom of choice, exactly. Your independence, that's personal and financial. And then your self-esteem, confidence, and self-belief. These are things that we should never give up for in a relationship. But then I want to, before we wrap up, I want to find out, would you change something about your look for your man? Would you go under the knife? So your baby wants big boobs. Would you do an implant?
I won't do that.
Your baby wants big.
But one thing I would do is maybe before we got married, I was size 10, and now I'm size 14. It would be unfair not to work on my body.
Okay.
It means I have to start gymming because he saw me size 10 and was in love with my size 10 body. So what do I do? Now maybe after childbirth.
But what if you can't become a size 10?
Well, you try, but no effort at all.
You and I were not
It's
like
bad.
this.
That's disrespect. No effort at all.
So
it's an insult to his personality. At least try. Try. Sometimes you're like, oh, she's trying. It's not working. At least.
But what if he doesn't like makeup?
That was exactly what I was going to say until you brought in the going under the knife.
Yeah.
There are things that, like I say, the extremes are not acceptable.
Okay.
So someone may not. Let's say, example, the person I am going out with now doesn't really like excessive makeup. So what do? I don't say that I'm going to completely stop makeup because that makes me unhappy as well. But again, I want him to feel attracted to me, to like me. So then I reduce the makeup, which means that I'm going to please myself and I'm going to make sure that he's also pleased somehow. But that's what the compromise is about.
But okay, I for one, I've had encounters where I meet people, they love my hair. So I'm dating and the person loves my hair. Your natural hair is so good. Don't do this, don't wear wig, don't do this, don't do that. And then I love my natural hair, but it's boring sometimes.
In a nice way, you can talk, Hello, darling.
Some don't even want the natural hair coming on your face. Oh, son, when him say in the AF, so take it back. Don't. But sometimes I also feel like, my bread, let the hair come on my face a bit. But the person doesn't like it. So
it depends on how you discuss or talk to him. You can make him. Give him
play around
tangible,
it though.
Yeah, and then he'll be okay. Oh, what, darling? You know, I can't always have one look. Just like I know when you go out sometimes, you see girls in ponytail braids and all that. I'm trying to be all those women in one body. So I want to be changing for you, so every day you see me as new.
But you're changing, he doesn't like.
Oh, come on, just a little.
So sometimes you need to please.
Like in a way, it depends on how you have that discussion.
Sometimes you would want to please him. At other times, you need to let him know that you also need to please yourself. So let's say in a 7-day period, out of on three occasions you do something he likes, 4 occasions you do something you like. You're pleasing everyone.
So the big word here is compromise. In every situation, you need to compromise. Even with your family, you need to compromise. We say a very big thank you to Das Capital Limited for the support. Das, we see a millionaire in you. If you are thinking about how to invest, where to take your money, if you are as young as me, even younger or older, just take your money to Das Capital Limited and they'll give you all your investment solutions. Now also to cool water. Just go and get a bottle of cool water. It's not expensive at all. You enjoy it and thank me later. Also to Nice Sea Omega-3 Sunflower Oil. They have always got our back. That's it. Thank you to Vienna City for allowing us their space. Sexy, sassy sang. The name is Samoki Tete. Keep the comments coming in. Thank you to my beautiful ladies. I told you from the beginning that they are very eloquent, confident, and all that. Thank you to Tina Mulika for making time for me. I know I'll have you another time.
Any day.
Any day. Yeah. Also to Linda Autry, my long-time friend. Kwatsa. I know I'll have you also some other time. Sure. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Sure, of course I did.
That's it.
Thank you for having us.
From the lady with the finest legs in the game, I'm out.